Turning now to a prime piece of real estate that has been wasted for 15 years. It was supposed to be a bustling community by now, but the developer behind the Little Mountain project now says it can't start building unless the city relaxes some of the social housing requirements. CTV's Isabella Zaffarisi has the story.
Anyone driving by this piece of land next to Queen Elizabeth Park may wonder why it's still sitting empty. The site was bought back in 2008. It displaced a community, and there's been barely a dent in replacing that housing and adding new units.
It's such a tragedy. It's such a horrific kind of story.
Holborn Property bought the land for $334 million. The plan was to build more than 1,500 units in the 4-phase residential development. But Holborn now wants to change some of the initial requirements. It's asking the city to lift the occupancy permits for the phases that would require the social housing to be built first, so it can start construction on the market housing instead.
City Council needs to be clear. These social housing units, 17 years later, need to be finished before this company goes ahead and does the private development.
In the report, Holborn says it's unable to obtain financing for the development, a claim one city councillor is questioning.
Holborn has dragged their feet for more than a decade on their commitment to rebuilding the existing or the previous social housing. And so for them now to say the financing isn't good, we need more favors, is ridiculous.
For sure, it has been taking way too long, but now Council has an opportunity to finally get nearly 1,600 units of housing built, including nearly 300 social housing units.
The report acknowledges that by releasing the occupancy permit holds for social housing, it reduces the city's ability to ensure these units are constructed and occupied ahead of the market units. Despite that admission, city staff and BC Housing are recommending the city remove the holds.
We want to ensure that the private sector partner here fulfills their commitment, and so we certainly will not accept anything less than the initial agreement that we had in place.
The report goes to Council tomorrow, where councillors will decide whether to relax the conditions. Isabella Zaffarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.